join me at this time. So Islam Conte, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Islam TV, and to you all. Uh, Share the live as you now come in. Share the live. My name is Dr. Matthews-Bey. Once again, uh, welcome to this Dr. Matthews-Bey show. To those who are now joining via the Instagram, good afternoon to you, a grand day to you all. Islam to you Moors, because I am a Moor, so I'm basically helping you to comprehend exactly what I'm doing. Uh, to those who will have the opportunity to see me or wanted to see me on Instagram, it's hrh dot p dot Matthews. It's hrh dot pp stands for print. It's all in lowercase. hrh dot p dot Matthews. That's the Instagram page. You can go there now and you can see me on Facebook and the YouTube. Share the live. Um, there are a few things that are bothering, and not bothering actually. It's more or less it's basically an edification process that I think some persons may still not comprehend. So before I start, I'm allowing you to share the live, come in. To those who are now joining via Instagram, at least I'm waving to you. I don't know much. I'm seeing on Instagram it has plus persons who want to join on the program via the invitation. So maybe you can join in. I don't know. I'm now getting acquainted to all these different smartphones. So, and not only the smartphone, the smart devices. You got to say that because I'm using some devices that are very smart, just like the smartphone. So welcome to you all once again. My name is Dr. Matthews-Bey. Share the live. I have my radio station that will normally protrude what I have done after the show, so you'll be able to comprehend exactly, what is it that I'm doing. So, to those who are now joining, thank you very much. My name is Dr. Matthews-Bey once again. As I say, the show is based upon an edification process. I was looking at some past and present events persons would have sent to me via way of WhatsApp or via way of Messenger. And I was looking at a short clip video, it's about 5 minutes long, where there's this particular place in England that I don't know if a place where people go and speak their minds and talk what they wanted to say and so on and so forth. But there was this Caucasian guy who was saying that, well, he's right to say that anyhow. He's saying that the black man can't do without the white man. And to those who know the etymology of both white and black, would ignore him because he's trying to insult your intelligence based upon using the black and the white. But I'm saying to those who have that feeling, the Caucasian race of people, to those who have that feeling, hold on. I'm going to say it to you in this particular fashion and form. If you feel by any chance that the Aboriginal man cannot do without you in this place that you call society, in this world today. Uh, Basically, it doesn't really interest me because this is what my final thing is. If you feel by somehow we cannot live without you because we have to, because this, that they depended, the black race, or I may call the indentured servitude, or the slaves, you may want to call them, would have to depend upon how to live. This is what the guy was saying. He said that every other race depended upon the system of the white man to exist. I was so happy when I heard those words came out of his mouth because I was saying to myself, I said, well, the Caucasian race and their system is all about nothing that the system provides they live by presently right now with these corporations. When I mean corporations, I mean countries, they are corporations. There's nothing that the system provides that can lead to a healthy life, that can lead to a good edification process. Everything that the system provides, it's all about tyranny, chaos, mayhem, murder. It's what the Caucasian can provide. The system that the Caucasian race so created, that's all that they can do. That is all the system provides. And when this guy said that we cannot live without, eventually we can. We are the ones that develop the treaties that they live by, that we provide it to them so they can develop into corporations and all these things they live by. Without those treaties, they cannot do anything. As a matter of fact, they study our culture. So it is our culture, it is everything about us that they exist. They cannot, do not have a culture. There's nothing about them that they don't even know where their history is or their culture is. They just do not know. But all they know is to plagiarize a culture of a people and feed it right back to them and create a color of law. So what he was saying was partial truth. But I'm saying to him now, because I, Dr. Matthews-Bey, and to all those who are looking via the Southwest Mexium, Northwest Mexium, Central Mexium, means North and South and Central America, which was then Morocco, which is Morocco as a matter of fact, because that's what America means, Morocco. You would have realized that the color of law is part of these corporations that sit. That is how they live, the law. That is how they execute it. And that color of law is what they call democracy. Now, I am saying, Gavin Matthews-Bey is saying, hey, you keep your system, you keep your money, keep your food, keep your education process, leave the edification process to us. Dollar, because your fiat dollar, your fiat currency worth nothing. You keep that. really don't want that. I don't want that. Keep your fiat currency, keep your food, keep your medication, keep your hospitals, you keep your workplaces because you don't want to work for you. According to the treaty in 1777, 1778, 1745, 1821, 1845, 1865, according to those treaties that we have signed as Moors, because we are Moors, to you,
connecting this off. But it's a oh boy. Good. Yes, it looks like I'm back on. So I know those on Instagram would have that, continue to have the live feed because it's showing me that you're having the live feed. But I'm using 3 different social media platforms right now. Those on Instagram has a different mechanism. That's why you're receiving me on a live feed. But the Facebook and YouTube has one other mechanism, and then I'm trying to work around that so you can have the live feed too. So I'm saying to those who are looking, who will continue to look, I'm saying, do not interfere with us. We are going to create our own system like we once lived by, because when they came, they met the Moors. Civilizations for the Caucasians and the Europeans and all you want to call them, it began in actually 1600s. That's when they began the tour around the world. They went about conquering nations and all these things. And they call themselves civilized people. But when you check it, the civilized people, the civilized race that you want to call them, everything about them is about death and destruction. Nothing brings about peace. If you can't live by their laws and their rules, they are going to disintegrate fact. So when the guy is talking about black man can't live without the white man, in his system, he's correct. He's not lying. Because they created a system that the world population is living by. That system is what you call democracy. Their religion is what they created, which the world system is going by, which they call religion. It's Jews, and you have the Islamic religion. It was created by them. So we live in that category because the church democracy was derived from the church. And now we actually live and breathe what they created. So we become indoctrinated, and we cannot fathom that. We cannot see that in plain sight. So we become an indoctrinated set of people. Everything about them is a lie. You check it. It likes you. Nobody wants nothing to do with you. Believe you me. Let me show you a particular instance. I went into a private business 2 days ago. Was checking up on some things, window shopping. There were persons in there when I went into that store. And by the time I looked one place, two places, and I looked around, the store was actually empty. The staffs, one of them, I don't think if he recognizes me, but he was there when I don't know, maybe somebody said something to him. People started vanishing because I represent the truth. Nobody wants to be around. Hold on. I think I have just hold for me, please. Just hold for me. Oh gosh. Yes. To those who are looking, I am very much apologize. I now see what was the problem. It was giving me the indications that the battery needed to be changed. So I got that changed. Now I'm back. So it was the indication of the battery that needed to be changed, and I got that changed. Yes. Leave us be. Leave us be. Let us do what we want to do. We don't want to be involved in the world affairs. We don't want to be in politics. We don't want to vote. We want to use the herbs that we were using how many centuries ago to heal ourselves. We want to teach people the truth. You don't eat to satisfy. You eat, sorry, let me use the right words. Eat is not even a word we're supposed to be using. We don't consume food to be satisfied. We consume food to be healthy. We don't have to eat 3 times a day. As long as we eat the right type as long as we consume the right type of food to be healthy enough for that day, it is okay. We don't have to drive ourselves beyond the understand beyond the comprehension of different things. We don't have to consume sugar. We don't have to use milk. We don't have to use meat. All these things inflames the blood, but nobody's going to teach you that. Nobody's going to sit and tell you the truth. So you get to see now the Caucasian system is definitely wrong. It cannot suit us. It will not suit us. Sometimes we use the wrong etymology of things. Sometimes to comprehend the ethymon is a different story because we do not comprehend what we're saying. We do not comprehend what we. He is telling the the guy who wants to accept himself to be black that he's a monkey. But if you check the word where it came from them who claims to. That's where the word monkey or baboon or whatever you want to call it came from. Because it was then known as nigger. You get my point? It was then known as nigger. You know, somebody say, hey, nigger, what's up? Don't let them call you nigger, bro. A nigger's a monkey. And it's a Caucasian. Don't let nobody call you that. You check what I'm telling you. You tell a white man, you said, hey, look, you're a Caucasian. You see how mad he's going to be. Because he understands the etymology of the word, the ethymon. He knows what it means. And sometimes they laugh at us because our culture is what they created and what they give to us. And we use the same culture that they feed to us. So many years of indoctrination, and then they look around and they laugh at us because you know why? We don't know where we come from. We don't know our culture. We don't know how to identify ourselves. People say, I'm not black because black is an adjective. So you cannot say that I'm black. I'm a living soul because the word human being is to be dead, a dead being. Hugh, top layer of the soil, 6 feet and upwards. To be a dead being. That's really what it means. That's the ethymon of the word. That's what it was created. Then they give us names, first to last name. It's a Christian system. That's how it was designed. You must have a first and last name. So when you have that first and last name, you now become a straw man because it's a straw name that you have. You're not real. The straw man is not real. The real person is a living soul. That's why in most countries around the world, or most corporations, like let us use a corporation as the US, where you are considered 2/3 of a human being. You're already dead, and they're trying to tell you, well, you're 2/3 of a dead man. And it's part of your constitution, as long as you live by the color of law, which is a democratic system. Now I say, hey, I can come out of the system. I don't want anything to do with that system. Where we supposed to claim your indigenous rights, and then you're going to live off the land. You're going to have your own system. You're going to have your own system of living and prospering in a healthy stage. And we're going to teach you how to live that way. As a people, we no longer care about the democratic system. You take your system and you waltz with it. Let us see how you're going to survive. Number one, the Caucasian race is so far less. You can imagine the earth is about 7 plus billion people. Let us say 7 billion. Five makes up at least a million people on the face of this earth. 700 million. That's the Caucasian race. And you know, I'm trying to imagine the epiphany of this nonsense. I don't even think they passed 700 million. 700 million. Watch. Let us say you use the Chinese or those in Central Asia and you put them together with the Caucasian race. They still ain't past 2 billion. The Chinese alone, or the continent of China alone, makes up at least 1.2 billion. Yeah, 2 billion. You got billion people left. Are you trying to tell me we are so domiciled that we cannot comprehend that if you look at it, democracy says the majority rules. How in the world? These people will barely make up at least, I don't know, maybe 2% of the planet. Maybe 2% of the planet. These people barely make up 2% of the planet. And they're running your lives. They're trying to tell you how to eat. You know, it's amazing that the truth is right in front of our faces. And that's the amazing thing. They're not hiding it, right? A lot. Let us use this word. They use the word concentrated, or they use the word purified. They like to use these words when it comes to food. Concentrated, purified, or preservatives. All these things are not good for your consumption. Purified, concentrated, preservative foods are not good for your consumptions. It kills you out. Let me tell you the main thing that kills majority of us who claims to be black. Sugar. Sugar is the first stage of poison for us. Sugar creates diabetes, 1 and 2. Sugar gives you cardiac problems. Sugar, yes, to those who are looking, prostate problems. Sugar gives you cancer. And we're consuming it on a large scale basis. We're giving our children it. Now, little children now got in diabetes. Little children are having they're now diagnosed diabetic cases. Children, imagine children receiving in. Children. Oh my God. We got to think. These are the things that are killing, and you could imagine they're now having the same problems that adults have. They're not only having diabetes, they're having kidney problems. Children, organ donors, they take up the largest percentages in receiving kidneys. They're now first it was adults, now children are taking over that position. And then your education process is not taking you far. because they don't want you to comprehend the truth. But when you start speaking the truth, it becomes a problem. You are now a menace to society. Imagine the truth. No, sorry, not menace. You're public enemy number one. So they're going to carve you out from speaking the truth. For those who notice, I've put up on my Facebook page a public notice. And that public notice was there for the benefit of me. Because I did that because I need to get and pretend to know the truth but doesn't want to talk the truth. In the place where I go to worship, the truth has to be told. If those who worship with me doesn't like the truth, well, then I don't need to be there. And to those who are looking, need to comprehend that too. Why would you surround yourself? Let me show you exactly what sometimes I tend to go through it at the end of the day constantly. There's this story with the tiger and donkey told the tiger, grass is blue. So the tiger told the donkey, how can the grass is blue when you know the grass is green? Donkey said, well, boy, something wrong with you, because if I'm looking at the grass and I'm seeing it's blue, I got vexed and decided to take the donkey to court, trying to insult his intelligence, because he went to an arbitration. The judge, the lion. So the donkey said to the judge, look, I told this guy the grass is blue, and he argued with me, trying to insult my intelligence, to tell me the grass is green. Yes, to agree with the donkey. So the tiger was upset. Tiger said, man, how can you tell this man the grass is blue when you know the grass is green? So the lion said to the tiger, well, look, I can let you know what's your punishment. Your punishment is to stay silent for the next 5 years. So the tiger really wants to know what did he did wrong when he knows the grass is green. This is what the lion told him. Imagine a fool. No, imagine an idiot makes you a fool. Imagine you, the tiger, has more sense than the donkey. Makes an idiot makes you lower than him because you took the time to swallow the garbage that he was saying. He was wasting your time. Bring him before me to waste my time to tell you that the grass is green when you know very well the grass is green. So I award the donkey because he needs to be awarded. He makes you, instead of he being the donkey, made you into a donkey, changed not only your beliefs, your religion, but he changed your DNA. It's like looking at you in the mirror and you tell yourself you're a tiger, but the donkey is telling you that you're a donkey. That says to say that, can you imagine the Caucasian race and you know very well that you're Aboriginal and Indigenous. He didn't only tell you that, he put it in books. And you got to send your children to school to read what he had said in books. And when he put the information in books, he put the truth. Every race has a date of entry. Those that call themselves an Amerindian, they have a date of entry. They came across the Bering Strait. Those who call themselves Indian, which means indigo, indigo means black, or sorry, indigo means those of a darker race. They came here by boat as indentured laborers. 1845. The Portuguese came here as settlers. The Chinese came here as brokers. All the other races in this particular land that we're living on, that all these corporations are on, came here. They have a date of entry except for us. You can imagine, these people showed you that they came here. They showed you a date of entry. They told us that we came here as slaves on a ship, but here is the problem. You can't find the dates. That you can't find those dates that we came here. You see what I'm talking about? Those that they brought from the African continent. Fine, they got some dates. But they didn't came to this particular part of the show because we had always a revolutionary group of people. Enslaved the Aboriginal man. It was chaos. It was. We never accepted slavery. Then they took the Amerindians, like they like to call themselves the Amerindians, to fight against us. So you had two people. You had the Arawaks and you had the Caribs. Who do you think was the Caribs? Who do you think was the Arawaks? You get my point? Are historical and proofs that were gained to show us we were here long before slavery. Anchored in the island of Hispaniola. It was the only largest populated island in the Central America. It had 60 million people. The island of Hispaniola $60 million natives or indigenous people, you want to call them. His brother had a carnage and a half. His brother was a general, brought the troops to invade the island, took possession of the island, but he had to kill off the indigenous people. You know how much they killed? Over 40 million. And it is still one of the largest populated islands in Central America. But they were so annoyed when those that are part of those that are natives on the island of the Hispaniola decided to fight back. Because their history, how they killed their people. They not even killed them, but they enslaved them. They took some of them from there and they sent them to Central America, more Central America, and in North America, which is supposed to be South America. And somehow South America is supposed to be North America because it's upside down. But these are the kind of things that we have to go through it every single day. Then we got those that are calling themselves East Indians, who by somehow or the other thinks that they're Caucasians. When you go to the land where they came from, and I keep telling them that they're not East Indians, they're Hindus. They came from a place that you call Hindustan. Most of them don't even know the history. They just run around the place. They don't want to be called East Asians because The Asiatics are Aboriginal, heavily melanated people like us. So they don't want to be called Asiatics. They prefer to be called East Indians. But it's the same thing. Indian means indigo. Indigo means those of a dark complexion. So they're running around the place thinking that they're Caucasians. And they think that they own whichever part that they put. To those who think that racism is not even a word. I'll be frank with you. So it's not a word that we're supposed to be uttering, but racism is democracy. It's part of democracy. You put two races against each other and you call it racism. But really, racism is division and rule. But they kind of, polish it off. You understand? But they're not the better race. Some of them are blind, just like those who call themselves, not some of them, most of them, or all of them, are blind just like who call themselves black. So they're no better. They live according to the system, yes, but they're slaves to the system. You're running around waving a piece of paper. I don't know who told you that that paper is legal. Entry do not belong to the land that you call America or Morocco. You do not belong here. You came from Hindustan. You have a date of entry. You came here in 1845. 1845, 46, 47, 48. I think up to 1849 you have evidence that you came via way of boat from India. And then somebody you talk about power. You know what's power? Knowledge. And edification of a process. If you have a heart of what I'm saying, now let me reiterate, you call it comprehension. That's power. Not the fiat currency that you so viciously and naturally hold on to yourself when you call it money. Oh, you're rich. Let me tell you about the richness of the fiat currency. See what happened to Venezuela? It's a simple example. Y'all see what happened to Venezuela? It's a simple example of the worth of the fiat currency. Suddenly you wake up one morning and realize the millions of, who is the true currency? The people. Who is the true currency here in the Corporation of Guyana? The working class. The people that you call black that you don't like. You East Indians. Without the working class, your money worth nothing, because who are you going to trade it with? Who is going to spend it? The people for the money that it has no value. It's common sense. That's mathematics. No, sorry, that's economics, not mathematics. If nobody works for the currency that you created, that you print in the bottom house over the river, if nobody works for that currency that you here in the Corporation of Guyana prints, it works nothing. It becomes a sounding brass and a tingling cymbal. That's the fact. So all the billions that you got still ain't worth nothing. That's economics. But oh no, you don't want the people to wake up and to realize economics. The treaties that was entered into from the Moors on the continent of Morocco was based upon economics. Yes, was based upon economics. Was based upon trade relation, economic. But you want to follow the Caucasian system. So you feel because you got a little bit more money in your life, your lamp is burning, huh? You don't even know how long your lights out. Until when they're ready to take it back from you. See what's going on now? The little money that you have in the bank, the millions of dollars that you claim to have, it's now becoming worthless because all around the world, currencies in these corporations, the worth of the value in the dollar of these corporations are. The British pound, the American dollar is falling, the Canadian is falling. Reducing because you know why? The working force is becoming lesser and lesser and lesser. That's why it's falling. The COVID era of the 2 years that has passed has produced more millionaires, less working people. So what you think happened? The value of the dollar in there no more because we got working people to fill it. We seeing all these things that is before our faces, but we just don't comprehend because they gave us each a different algorithm to work by. And that actually it becomes what reality. It's an algorithm to hold you constant by. It's an algorithm. But all of y'all got problems. All of you. Even to the Portuguese. You got problems. Why do you think that everywhere you go in this world that you call today, everybody got one problem, one group of people? The Aboriginal indigenous person. Me. Not the black. Black is a color of law. That doesn't belong to me. It's an identification to a democratic system. Black, brown, colored, Negro, Indigo, African, all these things belongs to a democratic system. When I say African, I mean Africa. A lot of you don't know that the name Africa came from the European general who once conquered certain parts of Africa by the name of Africanus. It was named after him. Oh yes. We don't know these things because the simple curriculum that we learn in school doesn't teach us these things. You know, we were reading through one of the Ministry of Education about history of the African slaves. You know that in that book they still cannot as entry into these lands. No, they cannot. But every other race has a date of entry. Every other race has a date of entry. So to those who, especially those who got the fancy name like the Pandays and the Lals and the Biharis, and they call themselves East Indians and think, well, they have stature in life. You can keep your stature. You can keep your money. You can keep everything you have. Hey, we don't want it. We can survive without it. We know how to plant. We know how to survive off the earth because The value of the earth is the value of the dollar. The value of the earth is the value of the people. A lot of us don't know that either. Here, when we dig and put concrete over it and stifle the earth from giving birth to feed us. Yes. Can you walk into the supermarket today and find one single iota item without preservatives being added to it, sprayed in it, or it's in a can? That you turn the can or box or package in which it is in, there's a variety of contents that is in there that keeps that item from eroding at a very fast stage. So what are we really doing, really? Tell me. I had to detox myself in order to put my body back in a rhythm, because I was very sick the other day. I was sick to the bone, just to realize that is basically what I consume was making me sick. I had to detox myself, and to find the truth, what I had to use to detox myself, I was amazed. Fruits, fruits, to detox myself. It took me 4 months. No, 4 months, and it was a hell of a time. Now I have to stick within the diet. And what is the diet? Leafy vegetables or steamed greens. We want to call it different names. And fruits. The same fruits that I had to use to detox myself. Fruits works as a detoxin agent. Guess what kind of fruits? 5-finger. Yes, 5-finger. Lemon and lime. Ginger. Beets. Turmeric. Oh yes, and I had to use, it had to have 7 mango leaves in it. 7 different types of fruits. Not boiled, soaked in hot water to draw. So I can use that process to so I position in which I am now. That cleansed the blood, got rid of the inflammation. You know, when you get a boil in your skin, you squeeze it, the little pus comes out. That's inflammation. Your blood is inflamed. Too much sweet. And when that detoxing is done, then I have to use the kind of food to eat to stay healthy. Food that does not form a solid base substance in your system. The inflammation in the blood is which causes a solid base system in your blood. You call it inflammation, pus. To me, you call it concrete. When your blood turning like concrete, it gets claddy, thick. You end up with cardiac problems. The medical industry is not going to tell you that. They're not going to teach you that because they don't want you to know that. They don't want you to know that the simple fruits that grow in your backyard. It's a process of staying healthy. They want to keep you away from such information. When people like me now who talks about it, oh no, you can't do that. You become an enemy of the state, trying to lock you up constantly, put you behind bars, and all kind of craziness. And then you, on the other hand, sit down and say, well, boy, we ain't gonna do, we can't do nothing. We are in. It's an indoctrination process. It is killing us. Can you imagine? It is. Look at the craziness that's happening to us. You go to the health center and they're crafting a diet for you. The diet is either you don't have to get protein from, you can get protein from peas, things like chana. They call it chickpeas, black eyed peas. But oh no, you don't want to eat that. We want to eat the heavy rice that forms the concrete in our blood veins. We want to eat the heavy chicken that forms the concrete in our veins and destroys our pancreas. When our pancreas starts to fail, we have problems because our cholesterol shoots through the roof, it becomes high. But we don't want to know that. Oh, Mr. Matthews, I can't take my children off of that. I can't stop eating this. No problem. You become more domiciled. How are you going to edify yourself if you're clogging yourself up with all sorts of things that you cannot even understand? Sorry, comprehend. I got to stop using the word understand. I had my son looked up that word understand. You know what it is? The dictionary says it's an object. And you and I are talking to each other. We say, oh, you understand? Or you go into church and you say, do you believe? No. But we use the word. But we do not comprehend what the word means. We read it, but that's not reading. The etymology of it so you can comprehend it. It's hard. But we are using things that we are being degraded on each day, like the word nigger. I got some friends from the US who call me and say, yo, nigger, you know what's up? And I have to tell them, they said I'm not a monkey. Please don't call me a nigger. Then he's saying, yo, bro, yo, nigger, man. Yeah, but no, I'm not. If you want to identify yourself as a nigger or negro, well, then you're a monkey, because that's what it means. That's the etymon of the word. Preaches it and lives it. Society doesn't want anything to do with that individual. Anybody that tells the truth, preaches it, teaches it, and lives it, society doesn't want anything to do with that person. Because it goes against their doubts. We like to say it goes against your beliefs, but it's your doubts. So I am trying to edify you that you continue to doubt yourself. Words are not wind, words are powers to create energy to speak. It's a force. So when you say things, it doesn't only go out, but it comes right back to you. You call that the laws of attraction. So if you stand up and say you're a nigger, you send that energy out there, and the Caucasians hear it, because they realize the importance of that energy. and they monkey. You say you're black, they treat you like a slave because they know this where it belongs. And when you ask what are slaves, slaves are commodities. You can be traded, you can be sold and bought. That means you cannot be recognized as a living soul. You are a human being. So when you stand up and say you want black rights or Black Lives Matter, they look at you and they laugh at you. They say, look at this slave. Black Lives Matter. You're not black, you're aboriginal. You're dark. Melanated, your pigment is melanated, that's the word. You're an indigenous being, a living soul. You're not a human being. Don't say those things. Look it up. It's right there. You know, the hurtful thing is that sometimes when you Google these words, pass it because you don't comprehend what it means. It's right there. They're telling you it in plain sight, but they know you don't know because of your level of education. And they don't know that you don't know. They know that you do not know the etymology of the word education, because to be educated means to be an educated animal. Education only fits and goes to animals. So they treat you like one. You know, you teach a cat to stand on its hind legs and then you give it a bacon or a token, because you're obeying what they say. Check out what I'm saying. Or you go to university. You went and you study whatever they're trying to tell you. And that's your faculty. And then you pass with its distinction. And they give you a certificate. They're rewarding you to becoming a product of society. But this is the trick. Let you decide to step out of your education process. Then you become an enemy of the state. You're no longer a person who being recognized as a university grad. They're going to call you a madman. They can say, well, this one, you went to university, you went good, now you turn a madman. Because he starts saying the things that you cannot comprehend. He has realized that all the years, he or she has realized that all the years they went to the university and what they studied so hard for, it wasn't the right thing. Some people ask me, no, Mr. Matthews-Bey, you had to get your education from somewhere else. And I said, no, my edification comes from self-thought. I love to read. I spend less time on the television. I spend less time on before the internet and all these things because I love to read. Now, my 12-year-old son knows that he's not going to use certain words now. Because when I'm sitting there, I hear him referring to his mother in the way of etymon or in the way of etymology. He speaks in that way. Oh, brother, I got cut off by that cell phone call. But these are the facts. Person still trying to call me, you can see. These are the facts. And I'm not sitting here to make you a domiciled person. I'm sitting here to edify you, to bring you through a process of truth. They like to say, speak the truth, and the truth will set you free. That's the fact. Speak the truth, and the truth will set you free. At all times. So I want to say to you now, before I leave, that it's a pleasure coming to you on this Sunday afternoon and taking you through a process of edification so you can be properly edified. upon the truth, and the truth all times, and the truth will set you free. If you don't want to be a free person, you don't have to log in on the Gavin Matthews show, because I'm not entertaining you. My process is to edify you and bring you out from the lies that you're living in, and set you upon a path that can give you true economics, true freedom. Because you deserve it as a people, as an Aboriginal, Indigenous, melanated living souls. That's my duty, and I will never stop. But letting you know this is to tell you that as a community of people, we can only succeed by a process of unification. We need to support the cause. We need to support each other. We need to do that. That's the only way we will grow as a community of people. We once lived that way. Let us go back living that way. Let us stop being dogs and cats to each other. Let us stop filming each other in negative forms and putting each other on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and TikTok to degrade and denigrate us ourselves. It makes no sense. Stop acting like Black people. Start acting like Aboriginal, Indigenous living souls. Because that's what you need to comprehend. This is Dr. Matthews-Bey. I would like to say thank you for all those who would have joined in at this time for an hour and change. And I just letting you know this: politics is not my preaching anymore. I have stopped that. Politics belongs to a democratic system. I don't belong there. I am not a Guyanese, so I don't have no need to teach and preach about politics. I'm going to talk about things that they're doing to you and oppressing you. Don't look upon me to speak politics. I'm going to speak against a system that's oppressing you and turning you into a slave. And I'm going to identify it by way of edification, a process of edification. I am not going to sit here and indulge in any political brabble, because it's all about a process of indoctrination. Okay? I hope you comprehend what I'm saying. My stance remains the same upon every other thing. And like someone told me today or yesterday, he said, what do you still think about the PPP the same? And I said, yes, the People's Progressive Terrorist Party is a party of terror and mayhem, disruption, murder, chaos, racism. That's what they peddle. And I said, as long as they're in power, Guyana will keep on having carnage. You, the people, need to get rid of that, not me. You need to comprehend that. I'm interested in my people. As long as you're being oppressed, as long as you want to experience freedom, come out of that and have basic economics where you have the power in your hands to say how you want to live, let's go down that process. We can do that. I'm Aboriginal and I'm Indigenous, living on the land of the Amexium of my forefathers and ancestors. Guyana does not belong to me. I've surrendered that citizenship. I'm no longer calling to the corporation of that citizenship that belongs to Great Britain. It's a colonization of a corporation that are there temporary, and every other person that's under them are their subjects, and they do what they want to do to you. Take a good look at Mr. Jack. That's what he does. He does what he wants to do to his subjects that are Guyanese citizens. Because by law, he can do that. It's a democracy. You want to live by politicians and the rule of democracy? You can't vex. These are the process of democracy. The minute you go and vote, that is what you're voting for. These are the facts. As again I say, I am Dr. Matthews-Bey. I want to thank you for joining in. I want to say to you, stay safe, be careful, sanitize yourself, wear a mask. Don't forget the little ones you take into public places. My number remains the same, 592-611-6575. On your screen, this program has came to you with the kind compliments of Black Love, Event Management Services, and Greenleaf Distributors. I want to say thank you very much once again. Good day and Cheerios for now.